Yo, what's going on YouTube? Technically T-Man, and I am finally back to recording. If you haven't been following me on Twitter or on my YouTube, I actually did a live stream, but I have had a bad cold for about a week and a half now, and I'm not even 100%. I'm over here about 90, 95%, but I gotta record, man. We got stuff to talk about. We got devices to get into. And you already know the devices that are first up. We gotta talk about it is the iPhone XR. Now, I do have it in this RhinoShield case. This is my favorite case. Quick plug. Definitely link that video above, man. Check out the RhinoShield case lineup for the iPhone XR. My impressions, man, what do I think about this iPhone XR? Now, this is coming from a person who was bashing the iPhone XR when it was first announced. I was saying that this is a budget. Well, I really wasn't saying it's a budget iPhone, but I was saying the display was trash. You know, it's just not going to be up to par. It's all about the big dog iPhone, rah, rah, rah. That was me in the beginning, man. This is what I was saying about it. But after owning this bad boy, it almost dropped it. But after owning this, man, and running this as my daily iPhone since it's been released, my mind has done a complete 360. Now, as you know, I do have the iPhone XS Max. I did get this when it first came out, and this was my iPhone. Really didn't have any intentions on picking up the XR, but I had to do it justice. I had to figure it out for myself, because one thing you know, I'm not going to trash or I'm not going to talk about a device if I've never personally owned it. So I had to put the iPhone XS Max, boom. We had to put that to a side, and then we had to go pick up the iPhone XR, and so far, I am loving the XR. So you can go out on record, you can call me whatever you want to, man, but I am loving the XR, and quickly, the iPhone XR is the best iPhone option that you can pick up in 2018. Now, the reason I'm saying it's the best option because you have to take it and you have to put it down on paper. You have to look at the differences that the iPhone XR has and the differences that the iPhone XS Max has. And let's go ahead and run through them real quick. So one, the screen. We already know about the screen. It is the 820p, and it's not that OLED screen that we're used to on the iPhone XS Max, man. But I'm here to tell you, after using this screen, the 828p, for a week or so now, the screen is absolutely perfect. Now, if you putting both of them side by side and looking at text, put them side by side, open up text messages, open up whatever, and look at them side by side, you will be able to tell a slight difference. The iPhone XR colors aren't as deep, the blacks aren't as black, things are just not as vibrant as it is on the iPhone XS Max. But if you put the XS Max, boom, putting it back down again, if you put the XS Max down and just use the iPhone XR as your primary device, you will notice that the screen is absolutely perfect. There's nothing wrong with it. For it to be 828p, it is perfectly fine. And we already know Apple's not going to make a bad display, and they've been making great displays forever. There's never really been a bad Apple display, and I had to kind of put that in my mind when owning it. So the display is absolutely perfect. When you're holding up side by side to get this XS Max, yes, of course you can tell the difference, but the naked eye, just looking at it, everything is perfectly fine. Same thing with the bezels. Yes, everybody complains about the bezel, but the thing about it is, if you don't have an iPhone XS Max near, or if you've never used any of the iPhones that have OLED screens, that's not really going to bother you, because the bezels now, when I look at it, they look regular. Like on this black, it just looks regular. To me, it doesn't look that big. I don't know. That's just me. For some reason right now, they don't look that big, but the bezels are the same thing like the screen. If you're holding them side by side, you can tell the difference, but if you don't have the iPhone XS Max or the iPhone X nearby, you won't be able to tell. Next, what you losing? 1 gig of RAM? That doesn't really matter. The performance is just as good. The apps stay in the memory. That 1 gig, we all know that 1 gig of RAM does not matter at all when it comes to iOS. So you scratch that off the list. Next, it's not IP68. I think it's like IP67. I don't have my phone around water, and if I do, I'll get a life-proof case or a waterproof case, or I will take one of my phones that's IP68 rated instead of the phone that's not. But once again, I'm not around water, and if I was, I'm careful, so that really doesn't bother me as well either. Scratch that off the list. Now, when it comes to the cameras, yes, you have that single camera. The single camera is perfectly fine. The cameras are basically almost the same. If you want to say it's probably the same shooter, except the iPhone XR, of course, is rocking that single camera. Now, does that bother me when it comes to portrait modes? I kind of like, and I'm going on record in saying this, I kind of like portrait mode, the software, a little bit more than I like the actual dual camera hardware. Now, I've tested it, I've taken several pictures, and for some reason, I just prefer the single camera portrait mode over the dual camera. Now, one thing I like about the single camera is I don't have to keep backing up and backing up and backing up when I want to take a portrait mode. I can just pull it out, Just like the range, that's where my camera is now. I can pop a picture and boom. But of course I can't do the camera because the next thing, the single camera doesn't do portrait mode of objects. Now, does that bother me? I'm not really taking pictures of cats and dogs. The only thing I'm gonna take a picture of, if I'm at a bar or something, I might take a picture of a drink or a phone or something like that. That doesn't really bother me. I wanna take a portrait mode. When I wanna use portrait mode for what it's for, I'm going to take a portrait mode of actual people, man. I'll put a picture up right here that I took a portrait mode of my brothers and everybody. We was at my school's homecoming. I'll pop that picture up, man. It was absolutely beautiful. So don't let the thing of it being a dual camera, it not being a dual camera, take it away, because the camera experience is just fine on the iPhone XR. Now, let's talk about the size in hand. So you already know the iPhone XS is that 6.5 inch form factor and screen. But when it comes to the XR, man, you're rocking with a 6.1. Now the 6.5, even though I have big hands, I kind of feel like it's a stretch to get to the top in different areas when I'm navigating on it. But this 6.1, I feel, is the perfect size. I mean, in my hand, it just feels perfect. I don't have to do much finger aerobics to get to the top. Everything is just fine in my opinion. I just really love this 6.1 inch form factor. I know everybody every year, we want the bigger, we want the biggest, and that's what we got with the iPhone 6.5. Me personally, 6.5 is the biggest it can get. If they get anything bigger than 6.5, it's just gonna be too big to use in my hand. You know what I mean? It's not gonna be comfortable. So I feel like that 6.1 is right at the sweet spot. I can do everything I need to do. I can reach it, and this is coming from a person with big hands. 6.1 inch to me is the perfect size. Now this may be the deciding factor of all when it comes to the iPhone XR, and what really wins me over when it comes to the XR is the battery life. Now the battery life has been killing it, and it has been putting this iPhone XS Max to shame when it comes to the battery life. This battery life on this I never felt was the greatest, and that just proved the point when I picked up this XR, because I can get close to like 7 hours plus of screen on time. Now I know screen on time doesn't really mean a lot, but to me that's how I gauge how I use a phone. And how I use a phone, if I'm at work and it's a slow day and I can power out on my phone all day at work and I don't have to put it on a charger while I'm at work, that means that's a winner, because I'm really on my phone a lot, watching YouTube, on Twitter, on Amazon, eBay, different places like that. I'm going hardcore on my phone and I still don't have to charge it. So that's a win to me. The battery life has been great. It has been amazing. And the two phones right now in my arsenal that's holding it down for the battery life is the iPhone XR, and the device that even has better battery life than the XR, OnePlus 6T. I got one of those too, man. We're gonna get into those into another video. But the XR battery life has been amazing, and that's probably partially due to the screen not being 2K or OLED. It's the 828, LCD screen, so it doesn't require that much more power. But to me, man, screen, everything about this XR is just perfect. I feel like this is the best, in my opinion, the best iPhone to get in 2018. Now, the question that everybody is asking, T, which one are you going to keep? Now, if you put all of those down on paper, everything we just talked about, the differences are not worth 400 and so bucks that I paid more for this XS Max. So right now I haven't made it final, man, but right now I'm about to wipe my XS Max and sell it and keep the iPhone XR as my go-to iPhone until next year when the new lineup comes out. And that's only because the differences from the XR to the XS Max is not $400+ worth it. It's just not. If somebody asks me, I can't just recommend them to go out and get the XS or the XS Max. The only reason, if you want to go out and get those, yes, I know screen quality is a thing, and I am a screen quality snob. I mean, I record in 4K. I got 5K, 4K monitors. I'm all for that high quality, but is it $400 worth more? In my opinion, no, it's not. When somebody asks me about an iPhone, I'm going to tell them to go get the XR. I've been telling my relatives, everybody to go get the XR. I've been seeing them tons in person. I feel like, honestly, that the XR is almost the flagship this year when it comes to Apple devices. So right now, man, the XS Max is up on the chopping blocks. I really don't know the future of that device. I'm gonna get some more time to dwell on it. I don't know, but the price I paid for that bad boy and the experience that I'm getting out of the iPhone XR is, to me, man, that 700, about 800 bucks when it's over tax, totally worth it when it comes to the XR. If you have an iPhone XR, or if you have the XR and the XS Max, let me know what you think in the comment section below, man. I know I'm not the only person that feels this way. If you just recommending a XS Max over a XR, You just doing that because you just want the latest and greatest, and there's nothing wrong with that. I am a person who wants the latest and greatest. In the back of my mind, it's just like, come on, T, you gotta have a big dog iPhone. You can't settle for the 10R. In my pocket, it's saying otherwise, man. So let me know what you think in the comment section below. Hit thumbs up if you like this video. We got more videos coming, man. We got more comparisons, man. I'm still gonna do a full review on the 10R. This isn't the full review. We got Google Pixel 3 XL. We got 6T. We still got Note 9. We still got S9 Plus. We got devices that we're gonna put it up against. So if you wanna see those, let me know in the comment section below, man. I'm gonna catch you on the next one. Later.